kitchen. It's a snowy day out there, so it's nice and cozy in here for me. I'm not that much of a winter person. I wish I would be more, but I like my warmth. Anyways, what I'm bringing to you today is my braided bread recipe. It's called challah, but I've heard some people say challah or challah, and so there's probably not, I'm not sure if there's a correct way to say it. Anyways, I'm making this for you today, and you can come along and watch me. I have all the ingredients is out here. It's water, some really warm water, and then I have yeast, salt, sugar. Now, if you have not seen this sugar before, I've showed it in other videos, but it's a unrefined brown sugar. It's called sucanat. Here, I'll show you how it's spelled. Right over here I have this, and this is my canister where I keep it in. And then I have 2 egg yolks, and then I also have lots of eggs in here. And this bread takes a lot of eggs, and it's a little bit sweeter bread, which is so good. And then I have my freshly ground spelt flour. And when I make this, I usually make this for Friday evenings for a special dinner, and so sometimes I will add some unbleached white flour, just a little bit. Just makes the bread a little better. I usually make this bread for every Friday night. Now sometimes we're not at home, so I don't do it, but I try to make every Friday night kind of like a special evening where we just have a really good dinner, and I usually make this braided bread. And it's kind of a Jewish thing, I think. We're not Jewish, but we love to celebrate anyways. Kind of the Jewish people will do it, they'll celebrate the Sabbath on Friday night, and they usually have this bread. So we just incorporated a little bit of their tradition maybe. We don't do it like they do, but we just have a special evening where we will sometimes pray over the children and bless the children, and we'll just have a good meal with fresh bread and whatever else I decide the menu should be. Okay, let's get started. First, what we do is we pour this really warm water in this mixer. Now this is a Bosch mixer. This mixer right here is a Bosch mixer, and it excuse me, and it mixes really well. It does a really good job. But the only thing that I don't like about this is plastic, and I think sometimes little tiny pieces of plastic rub off. So I would eventually maybe like to go get like a KitchenAid mixer or something like that, or then another Bosch that is better. This was a used one that we had bought. They're expensive, but it's good for now. Next, we'll put in the yeast here. Sprinkle in the yeast, and to activate the yeast, we'll sprinkle in a little bit of the sugar. Not all of it, but just a little bit, and then I just kind of mix it up a little bit. And then we let it proof just a little bit before we add all the other stuff. Here you can see how nicely the yeast activated. Now we are ready for the other ingredients. So you want to add just a few cups of flour at a time, and at the beginning you want the mixer to be at a higher setting, and then as the dough gets stiffer you want to put it on a lower setting. And you will know when the dough is done if it's just slightly sticky, but barely. And you might have to use more or less flour than the recipe calls for. It depends on what flour you're using. The dough is just the perfect consistency, and now I'm putting it here in a greased bowl, and I will set it in there and cover it with plastic wrap plus a towel just to keep it moist, and then I'm going to set it in a warm place and let it rise till double in size. Then I'm going to punch it down, then I'm going to let it rise again till double in size, and then I will braid them. Okay guys, now for the fun part. I love working with dough. Okay, now this recipe that I'm giving you makes one large loaf. But I double the recipe so that I can get 2 large loaves out of this. And then I will always take one of the loaves and wrap them in wrap and put them in the freezer for the next week, so that I don't have to bake this every single week. I can go like every other week to bake it. So I always have a good one in the freezer, and when I take it out of the freezer, I will wrap it in foil and put it in my warmer, or you can put it in the oven on very low, and just to warm it up through, and it tastes just like fresh. So let's get started. I'm not the best teacher. I don't feel like I'm the best teacher, but let's see if I can tell you how to make a 6-strand braid. If you hear thumping and yelling, those are just my little kids playing upstairs, up on the loft right above me. So don't mind them. Okay, what was I saying? Yeah, I cut this in half, and I do not have a kitchen skills, so I just eyeball it, and I don't mind if one loaf is a little bigger than the other. And also when I cut the strands, I just eyeball it too. I don't weigh it. And I always make a 6-strand braid. Now, there's all kinds of braids you can make. You can make a 7-strand, I think a 9-strand, 5-strand, 4-strand, but I learned how to do the 6-strand, so that's what I'm sticking with. So I'll show you how to do that. First, what we need to do is cut this in half. Now here I cut them in 6 equal parts. And next you roll them up in, I don't even know how long, just however long you want it, in 6 strands. You just roll it with your hands like this. You put your hands in the center, and then you roll out, just kind of lightly. You just keep doing that until you have it about the right length. So this is about the right length for me. It's still pretty thick. It's about perfect. I am ready to braid. And what you do is take all the ends and pinch them together. Just like that. Just give it a good pinch. Make sure that they'll stick together there. So now they're together up here. And now next what you'll do is take the two outer ones, the two on the outside. You take them and you cross them over each other. Like this. You take this one over like this and the next one over like that. And then next you take the two on your left and put them to the side so that you have space to put the top one, the one that is overlapped, the very top one, you put down into the center there. And then you just make sure this looks good up here. So now you have one on the outside and you put one into the center. The next you bring this one, not the outer one, but the next one, and you bring it overlap it like that. You always have two on the outside. And now you bring this one and put it over in the center. And then you come over here and you don't take this one on the outside, but you take the next one and you flip it over. So you're always flipping them out to the outside and always bringing one into the center. And you always will bring the one into the center that's on the very top. You bring that into the center and then you come over here to your right and you flip it over to the left. And then you bring the one in the right and put it into the center. And you take this one over here and flip it over to the right. And take the top one and put it into the center. You just keep doing that until you're all the way down. You can just watch closely and you'll know how to do it. And then when you get to the very end, you just do the best you can until you can't do it anymore. And then, here's a little one yet, and then you just tuck it underneath the braid like this. Just tuck it underneath, and it's a nice long braid. And I kind of bunch it together a little bit. I don't want it to get too long and thin. And then I just give it a good whack. Just like that. And then I grab a cookie sheet and I place it carefully on the cookie sheet. Then I'll cover it with plastic wrap and some towels just to keep it soft until it has risen enough. So I'm going to do the exact same thing with the next braid. Wow, look at this. These are pretty much double in size. I have an egg wash here that you put on, and this brush, as you can see, is not the greatest, but my other one got destroyed, so this will have to do. So what you do is just rub this egg wash on the braid, and it just gives it that golden color when it bakes. Okay, the next thing you want to do, actually you don't have to do this, you can totally skip this and just put these in the oven like they are. But what I usually do is sprinkle on either some poppy seeds or some sesame seeds. I love sesame seeds the best, but I don't have any on hand right now, so I'm just going to sprinkle on some poppy seeds, and after that we'll pop them in the oven. Okay, they're in the oven, and I usually put the timer on for about 30 minutes. So it basically takes around 30 minutes for them to get ready. So hopefully they turn out okay and don't have huge cracks in them. They taste the same anyways. Okay guys, now for the big reveal. Let's see how they turned out. Look at this. Whew, I wish you could smell my kitchen right now. Oh, it smells heavenly. There's nothing like the smell of fresh bread. And here's the other one. This is even a little bit bigger. Ah, look at that. Isn't that amazing? Wow, they turned out fabulous. Can't wait to eat it.
Okay, I'd like to think myself as an expert griller, but I know that's not the truth. But I do enjoy it. We're grilling some salmon here that Priscilla seasoned and everything. These salmon are salmon that we caught on the Kootenai River here. And so we're just putting them on the grill here. Here's a big slab of wild salmon from the ocean that we got last year when we went fishing. We didn't actually catch it because we didn't catch any salmon, but we bought that salmon that came from the Pacific Ocean. So we're just grilling it, and our company's coming in a few minutes, so we're excited.
Actually, they're coming right now. Over here I have some pies cooling off. This is a sour cream raspberry pie, and this one is a sour cream huckleberry pie.
And I can't wait to try them.
They're sitting on here on the wood box.
Well, we're just so happy that we have some visitors tonight. This is my niece Dolores, and this is our friend Wilma from Michigan.
No. Oh yeah, Michigan.
Yeah. Used to be from Indiana. And Priscilla made an amazing meal. As you can tell, she outdid herself again. I mean, the grilling was to perfection, but the other food looks just really good. Good job, love. So we're just going to thank the Lord for this amazing food, and we're just so thankful and grateful we can share it.
Yes, and let me know if you try this bread recipe. It's one of my favorite, so I wanted to share it with you guys. So thank you so much again for watching and subscribing and hitting that like button. We love you guys.
All right, catch you on the next video. God bless you.